We're standing here in a beautiful little patch of dryandra and various and pea shrubs, and around us here it's right on the top of a beautiful remnant, a beautiful breakaway on the property that Neil Botha manages. Here we have splendid fairy wrens, birds that again require thick cover, but in a different setting than over on the deep sands at Flora Downs. Easier to see. We've just spotted them flitting through, and they take a lot of the insects through, and this type of habitat is great protection. Many nest sites scattered through the understory, through the shrub layer amongst the tough to penetrate dryandra. So just in the background now I'm listening to some splendid fairy wrens calling here on the top of this very special little spot. An example of one of these areas of dense ground cover, this very special banks area, and inside here we have a nest of probably the splendid fairy wren, young birds secured, safe under these dense, close to the ground patches of shrubs. Again, another example of the value of these, in this case this ridgetop remnant tall heathland, shrubland here, and the birds are, the parents particularly look for these sites. We have another Banksia species here which provides also this, and the dryandra also provides this great dense ground cover for these ground nesting birds. Another reason these sites are very special. One of these beautiful little mallee groves, this little patch of mallee that provides nectar for brown honeyeater and a number of other honeyeaters in season, and roost and shelter sites for birds like we've just seen the carnabies flying through this area, and a range of other smaller animals in amongst these patches of dryandra and other plants that are scattered through here. This site actually grades back into dryandra and then mallee again, so again this diversity of habitat that underscores the importance of these sites for birds and other animals. Here in this stand of mallee, lower down on another ridge, another lateritic ridge in this remnant, we see quite a much more open understory, carpeting or ground covers, but no real shrubs like we were getting up on the higher ridge, equivalent site on the higher ridge area. Possibly reflecting heavier grazing in the past, so the historical impact of grazing, even though it's not happening now. It's quite possibly we're still seeing the effects of that at this point in time. The mallees here, a lot of new growth after such a great set of rains during winter, and birds like weebills, thornbills will move through and will glean insects etc. from the foliage through here. There are patches of dryandra too, but in this area here it's about birds that glean foliage, the foliage gleaners, these small insect-eating birds, as well as some of the larger birds that we've seen fly over, an aerial insectivore, the black-faced cuckoo shrike, perching on the taller trees and just flying across above the canopy, hawking insects. So it's quite different down here. It's quite a dry site, quite a few termite mounds as you can see, but quite sparse in the understory. In this patch of low shrubland here we've got Adenanthus exuding this exudate. The brown honeyeaters and other small honeyeaters are making the most of it while it lasts, and there's various other there's nectar sources here for them too. So currently what we're seeing on this edge of the mallee as we move down the slope, we're seeing a lot of early breeding activity. Brown honeyeaters in mating pursuits, driving off other males, etc. We've had rainbow bee-eaters up from a migrant from further north coming through earlier on. Such a beautiful bird moving through this area. We've also had a number of other honeyeater species through this patch of low nectar and exudate yielding vegetation. Really quite a special little place as well. They're all special, but we go through so much diversity of habitat in this remnant that it's quite staggering. On the edge of the breakaway we've got some wandoo, and on the top of the wandoo, the outer dead uppermost branches, there's a horsefield's bronze cuckoo calling. Very, very distinct call. Once you hear it, it's hard to forget it. These are birds again that have migrated from north and sometimes inland areas, arriving here in September and leaving in March. This bird is sitting high and broadcasting its call. Presumably a male for females in many different directions. It's a distinctive call that travels for a long distance across these hilltops.